we should all be out. But everything is cycle and change. 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 And change. Peony for my grandma. I still feel her, so I know she can't have gone too far. Dandelion growing up in the cracks on your street. Thank you for this message. I know I'm not weak. Everything is cycle and change. 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 And it's change. Raspberry, she grows strong and deep. It's a lesson that I know, 'cause she taught me. Here I am 10 months later, in this body, in my body. I am well now. I don't even know me. Everything is cycle and change. 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 Oh, and it's change. It's change. It's change. Ooh. Ha, 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 wee, 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 ha, ha, wee, ha, wee, ha, ha, wee, ha, wee, ha. I wanna fall in love with someone. I wanna take them here into the goldenrod field, into the place without fear. I said I wanna fall in love love with someone. I said I want to take them here into the goldenrod field, into the place without fear, without fear. Without fear. Ha, 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 wee, 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 ha. I wanna fall in love with someone. I wanna hold hands. I wanna have a wedding, marrying myself to the land. I said I wanna fall in love with someone. I said I wanna hold hands. I wanna have a wedding, marrying myself to the land. Marrying the land. Marrying the land. Ha, 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 wee, 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 ha, ha, ha. I wanna fall in love with someone. I wanna take a chance. I wanna turn you all into lovers, and I wanna learn to dance. I said I wanna fall in love with someone. I said I wanna take a chance. I wanna turn you all into lovers. Ooh, I wanna learn to dance, to dance, to dance, to dance. I wanna learn to dance. I wanna learn to dance, dance, without fear. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. We've been able to attend service here this Sunday and last Sunday, and it's such a beautiful community that you have here. I was just in the studio a couple weeks ago recording my next record, and this next song is one of the songs that will be on the record. It's called First Yellow Flower, and I wrote it a couple Januaries ago. I was out in my yard, and January in Boston, everything is dormant. But because of climate change, the forsythia was flowering, which usually in New England flowers in March. And I was just thinking about what happens if this flower that's usually one of the first flowers to bloom blooms in January and doesn't bloom in March, and what happens to us when we don't also have our own cycles of rest and wintering. So this is called First Yellow Flower. Oh, I'm doing my best, but can somebody tell me what will happen in springtime if me and the flowers don't get our rest? Oh, and I know it takes time, but I'm really quite frightened of budding too early or blooming too late and missing my prime. Oh, and it's January now, and the forsythia's flowering. We're all confused by the warming, and I'm supposed to get up in the morning and pretend that everything's normal somehow. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, and what will happen in March to that first yellow flower, to the bees that rely on her, to that moment of tender, and to my heart? Oh, am I doing this right? 'Cause it feels like I'm wilting and everything's changing. I can't plant down any roots in my own life. Oh, and yesterday's gone. Is the moon waxing or waning? I can't get a hold of the timing, and suddenly I'm aging, aching to belong. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, I'm doing my best, but can somebody tell me what will happen in springtime if me and the flowers don't get our rest? you. This next one is off of my latest record that came out last May. The record's called Cycle and Change, and this song is called Oh But Nothing's the Same. And it is, I think, really just a song about accepting that for all of us, COVID has been kind of a portal that we all collectively went through, and we can't go back to how things were before. And that happens so often to us individually. We have these big moments of transformation or life transitions, moving, graduating, the death of a parent, these big things. But for it to happen to the whole world all at the same time, we're really in a different time than we were 6 years ago. So this is a little rock and roll song called Oh But Nothing's the Same. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's summertime in May. And you hurt my feelings. None of my friends think like me. Individuality, well, it's lonely. Oh, but nothing's the same anymore. Oh, but nothing's the same anymore. Oh, but nothing's the same anymore. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, but nothing's the same anymore. And even the trees are confused. They're not used to this climate abuse. We were on the same page, oh, and now I'm feeling used. How can I keep my pride and still love you? Oh, but nothing's the same anymore. Oh, but nothing's the same anymore. Thank you. This next song is a queer love song. And I'm from Massachusetts, and I grew up on Cape Cod, and at the very tip of the Cape is a very famous queer community, P-Town. And when I wrote this song, I just kind of imagined that I was there. And after the song was released, I was able to kind of spend some time there, and something about being in a queer space, which I know San Francisco is famous for, just allowed me to feel very normal. I don't always feel in my everyday life. This song's called Eat My Cake. Turns into a lover, and I want to wake up sober next to her. And I don't want to explain myself to anybody's mother. This is how I'm going to spend my summer. I want my husband and I want another. I want to eat my cake in bed and then I'll have her. Explain myself to anybody's father. I can take care of them both. I am a fighter. Oh, and everything's changed. Oh, and everything's changed. Oh, and everything's changed. Oh, and everything's changed. But you're still the same. I wanna take my man and gal down to the seaside. Ooh. Queers and we won't have to hide. And I don't want to explain myself to anybody. This is how we're going to expand our family. we're still the same. Thank you. I'm going to take a moment and talk a little bit about astrology, which is the inspiration for this song. And if you're not into astrology, this is usually the time where I say this is a good time to kind of just like zone out for a couple minutes. But several summers ago, I was on TikTok, and all of the TikTok astrologers were telling me that there was a very important date coming up, which was the Lion's Gate, which happens on August 8th, because 8 is the number of abundance, and so you have the 8th month and the 8th day, and it was double abundance. And then it was also falling on a new moon, which was triple abundance, and so I was on TikTok all stressed out about how to manifest perfectly because of this special date coming up, which is not really the point of any of that. And I came across this one person who said that the energy of abundance and the energy of manifesting is the same energy as trust. And if you don't have trust, then you can't access those things. And I went, oh no. And I wrote this song. And since then I have really worked on my relationship with trust and patience, because I think those two things are the same thing. Trust in myself and trusting in my spirituality. But it was a moment in time where I really didn't realize that I had a problem, and then I realized that I did. This is called the 5th law of abundance. On the 8th of August, a portal appeared in the sky. I knocked on the sun, the Lion's Gate opened wide. I was looking for abundance, but first I had to manifest. I was looking for some courage, but first I had to trust. But I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone. First law of abundance is you have to open up. Cause you can't receive nothing if you're shut. The 5th law of abundance is trust. The universe will hold you, but you have to fall backwards. And you gotta believe it'll catch you. You gotta believe. You gotta believe it'll catch you. you got to believe it. But I don't trust anyone, anyone. I don't trust anyone, anyone, anyone. No, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone, anyone, anyone. Thank you. So the record Cycle and Change that came out last spring, the concept of the record is that it follows the life cycle of the wheel of the year. And there are 4 songs for each season. The record starts in spring and goes into summer, fall, and ends in winter. So we've been playing you mainly the spring and summer songs. And something that happens in New England is that towards the end of the summer, people kind of start to get really depressed, and they're like, oh, it's practically winter. And I really, I wanted to find a way to have a relationship with even the dark and the cold seasons. And I think this next song, it's called The Empress. It's inspired by the Empress card in the tarot. And the Empress card represents abundance and represents the earth, and reminds us that there's a sacredness to the earth and that the earth will provide for us. And so I was really just thinking that, oh, well, there's a sacredness in all of the seasons too. And that also in turn, that if I can figure out a way to have a relationship with all of the seasons and find sacredness in all of the seasons, because they're all a part of nature, then I also have to find a way to see myself as sacred, because I'm also a part of nature. So one of the lines in this song is, I too am sacred. So if you'd like to just for a moment place a hand on your heart and close your eyes and just say that out loud to yourself. I too am sacred. I too am sacred. I too am sacred. It's just sometimes I find I need a reminder. This song's called The Empress. The Empress doesn't cry when summer exhales its last sigh. The Empress lives in abundance. She knows all seasons have their sacredness. I too am sacred. I too am sacred. I too am sacred. I too am sacred. just relishes in delicious August sunsets. It's true, Virgo, soon the sun will go, but she knows soon too it cycles back through. I cycle too. I cycle too. I cycle too. I cycle too. The Empress surrenders. Letting go is the best cure for a fear. The Empress lives on the cusp. She knows each moment is precious. I too am precious. I too am precious. I too am precious. I too am precious. I cycle too. I cycle through. I too am sacred. I too am sacred. Samantha's going to tune, and I'm just going to read a little poem. This poem is called The Opposite of Capitalism. And I think it's kind of almost like a nursery rhyme. The opposite of capitalism. I just want to live in my little house and spend time with my little friends and tend my little garden and love up on my little men. I want to read my little books and make my little art and share my little stories and do my little part. I want to say my little prayers and talk to my little God and celebrate the little seasons and walk my little dog. I want to dip my little toes into the little bay and at the end of my little life, know I didn't work it all away.
This is it, but you might want to do a recheck.
I found it so moving that in your service you have an opportunity for witnessing for people who have loved ones who have passed. I found that my father passed last April, and I found that it's such a strange thing where there's this like kind of overwhelming pouring of witnessing in the first few weeks that someone dies, and then there's kind of a disappearing of that. But the grief doesn't go anywhere. And I had not really been writing after my dad died. And this January, I teach a workshop called Writing 10 Songs in One Day, and we write 10 songs in one day. And it was the first time I really wrote since he passed. And so a lot of these songs about grief kind of poured out of me. Do you have milkweed here? The Yeah, okay. So there's milkweed. It's just a wild plant that grows here as well as in New England that the butterflies like. And I was walking around in our garden, and I just saw that there was milkweed dead, and there were some seeds kind of coming out of the milkweed, and that inspired this song. Something kind of sad happens when someone you love dies. It opens up your point of view. Suddenly you realize everyone you love will die. Everyone you love will die. Everyone you love will die. 'Cause everyone dies. I let my dog out in the snow. He looks back at me. He wants us to run and play. He looks so happy, but everyone he loves will die. Everyone he loves will die. Everyone he loves will die. 'Cause everyone dies. I'm just a grieving woman. I'm just a grieving woman. Oh, so is it a surprise? I can't stop thinking about how everyone dies. I hold the milkweed in my hand. It's dead on the vine. I open up the dried pod. There's a little seed inside. Everyone you love will die. Everyone you love will die. Oh, but everyone gets to be alive before they die. Thank you. As I was talking about trust earlier, I think to me, when I really examine it, trust and faith are the same thing. And working on trust has really been working on faith. And a complaint I often have with God is that I don't know what's going to happen next. And I would like, I'd like a cheat sheet. And I wrote this song. I was sitting by a river in upstate New York, and
thinking about the expression of the forest, not being able to see the forest through the trees, and how I often really zoom in on one part of my life and I'm not able to see the whole picture. So this song is called Forest Through the Trees, and I think it's kind of a conversation with God and learning to accept the present moment instead of trying to always look around the corner.
Wish I could see the forest through the trees. Wish I could tell where the path leads, where the path leads, where the path leads, where the path leads, where the path leads. Wish I could know how my story goes. Oh, I wish I could foresee what's in store for me, 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 what's in store. Why won't you show me? Why won't you tell me how? Why won't you draw a map? Why do you drag it out? Why won't you guide me? Why won't you lead? Wish I could trust in all my luck. Oh, I wish I had faith in all my good mistakes. Oh, in all my mistakes, in all my misses and takes, in all my mistakes, in all of my good. Thank you. We have a couple more for you. Does anybody here garden? Okay, yeah. So I'm so curious because it seems that you certainly don't have winter in the same way that we do in Massachusetts. So when do you plant bulbs? Is there a specific time where you have to plant bulbs so you can plant them in the winter? Okay, same. Okay. So yeah, in New England, you plant bulbs in the fall before the ground hardens. And I was planting bulbs a few winters ago, and it was about to be our second pandemic winter. And I was like, oh, I don't feel like I can do another one of these. It was so isolating.
But I was thinking that when you plant bulbs, it's a metaphor, and it's a prayer that you will make it to the spring to see those bulbs turn into flowers. And I feel like we are in a very dark time in our country and all around the world. And kind of part of our responsibility is to be planting bulbs now, finding ways that we can have hope for the future and not kind of get bogged down by all of the darkness. And we have very long winters. In Massachusetts, we had a very long winter, this one especially. And sometimes it can really feel like spring is never going to come. And it can feel like there's just all this doubt. And I think that's a big tactic that's being played right now, is to make us feel like spring will never come, that we are permanently in a dark place, and that we're not able to get out. And that it's our job to continue to plant these bulbs of hope, knowing that spring does always come, that liberation does come, that change does come. Knowing that the flowers we plant will be enjoyed not just by us, but by people long after we're gone. This song is called Bulbs.
I garden in October, it's a promise to myself that I'm gonna make it through the winter. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. I plant bulbs in November and I cross my fingers. I hope I'm gonna make it through the winter. I hope I'm gonna make it. I buy seeds in December and I pray to a God I don't know. Lord, I wanna make it through this winter. Lord, I wanna make it. Though it's dark outside, though I can't run and hide from my feelings, though I'm sick today of myself and my loneliness, you know I'm gonna make it. Well, I trust that by the summer I will see your face again, 'cause I'm gonna make it through the winter. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. I'll feel the warmth and splendor and I'll let the light back in. Oh, I'm gonna make it through this winter. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Though it's dark outside, though I can't run and hide from my feelings, though I'm sick to death of myself and my loneliness, you know I'm gonna make it.
This is the part of the song that I like to think of as February, where it's dark and it's cold. Maybe you're getting a little bit sick of having soup a lot. For us this February, we had mountains and mountains of snow, and I was really sick of having to put on so many layers and shovel my car out. And I started to have that doubting feeling that I would never feel warm again.
Turn to flowers and my bare feet will touch the ground. Good God, I wanna make it through this winter. You know I'm gonna make it. Oh, I hope I make it through this winter.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us. Thank you very much to the church for hosting us. And again, we were able to spend a little bit of time with this community, and it just seems like a wonderful place. Thank you to Mark for reaching out and inviting us to come out here. And I think it's been over a year, so it takes a lot of work to do all of the organizing for this, so thank you so much to Mark, and thank you for Jonathan for running the sound, and it's such a treat to sing in a space that was designed for singing. Such a beautiful place.
We loved hearing the organ this morning.
Yeah, the organ was such a treat to hear. I'm Naomi Westwater, and this is Samantha Rose on the bass. And we have some merch in the back that we would be more than happy to have you take off of our hands, because we lugged it all the way here from Boston. Are you all in a singing mood at all? Do you feel like doing a little bit of singing? Yes. Okay, great. All right, let's do some singing. I'm going to teach you the end of this song, and then when it comes along, you can hop right in. You can.
For those lower,
Yeah, you can sing with us.
you can sing in the octave lower.
You can.
Or for those who have harmony.
Why don't we hear it?
You can. You can. You can. You can. You can. You can.
Beautiful. So when that comes around at the end of the song, you feel free to join in as loud as you want to. Thank you all so much for listening.
If you wanna leave your man, you can. Just box up all your stuff, rent a truck, and drive off into the sunset. If you wanna leave your man, you should. 'Cause honey, he's no good and you could use a little you time. Just leave the keys to the house right by the key to his heart. Just tell him thanks and good luck. But you are better apart if you wanna leave your man. Just do it. There's really nothing to it. There are literally billions more men. Oh, if you wanna leave your man. Oh, if you wanna leave your man. All right, ready? You can. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Naomi Westwater, this is Samantha Rose. Thank you. We'd love to say hello.